Good afternoon, traders. MR Strategy on Friday, the 23rd of April. Week summary of the trade. Give you an idea of how this market had played out all week. And Monday we started, which was pretty much the high up until today. And that was the key resistance level that they struggled with. We knew all along there was a gap area that extended from just beyond this low right there down to about 15. It was sitting. It's been sitting for about a week, and it was just a matter of time. And Tuesday was the beginning of it, and pretty much the end of it. And they rammed them. Another really hard breakdown. Once again, price falling beyond the moving averages, and collapsing. And this is a lot. This is some of the keys of the trading strategy that I utilize and I talk about in many of my videos is what is price doing at the averages gives you a pretty good read on where the trend of the market's going to go, and then when you uh, saddle it up with the daily pivot levels, it tells you a lot more as well. And you can just see and look at how the market got to S3 on Tuesday, and it had a great bounce rally. And then you can see even overnight, they couldn't get through it. And we actually opened up down there. And this should have been a good idea what you should expect it today because you can see look at this reaction. And then they took this whole sell off and they just jammed them straight back up to 70. And then they meandered overnight. Try it on Wednesday. All right, take this back. This is Thursday. Try it on Thursday to start the takeoff process. Gap was filled. Uh, we got this low right here, 50. This is probably going to be a key area. Come and play maybe on Monday. And Biden opened up, and the market rolled hard. And this is hard to trade. This is volatile. This happened within minutes. And once again, they got down to that 15 area and bounced. I don't think anybody's ready to attack it, and that is probably going to be a turning point if and when we get there. And there's a different scenario playing out in the market, and you can see overnight they just pretty much just drifted, pushed higher, didn't really do much, and then yet again another morning where, and this is usually how it plays out. They'll always sell off early in the week, and then they'll find themselves on Wednesday and Thursday, and then rebuild on Friday. And you can just see, look at today's markup, it's substantial. And you can see we're ready to turn back to the upside again, going after 80, probably the contract high. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if we got up to R2 by the end of the day. Well, actually, that is a pretty high number. Well, I've seen crazier markups, but this market was really solid. You take advantage of the rollovers and the corrective trades because they're really, really wonderful opportunities to catch moves. And at the end of the day, we always want to be able to follow the trend and capitalize on it. And today was a hard day. They opened up um, just below the pivot, and when you're trading with these levels in mind, more often than not, price is going to at least come through it. And if it was bad, it would roll hard. But you can see how price kind of came into this commercial selling as if they were going to roll over. But this underlining tone, and this is what Quick Pop is really good at, it tells you that there's still the underlining momentum is still pretty good. And you can see price pretty much failed right at the bottom of that ribbon right before 9 o'clock. And then it turned out to be a pivot breakout to the upside. The long would have been somewhere down in here around 38 or better, maybe 37. But you can just see the results. Nobody expects this, and at the end of the day, you take a long position in here, you just manage it. You put your stop in and you'll be done with it. I took it down here because I thought this was going to be the last play, and a run up, and then they gave this one more time, and it's a shakeout. And I'm kind of used to that. I mean, they roll and take me out, they take me out. They never hit my stop, and they pretty much took off, came back to price, and then it was all about management. So, that was today's trade. I don't know what to expect for Friday. These levels are probably all going to come up. Your pivot, I don't know. It all depends where we settle. I would assume we might have come up to 55, which I think is a good number. I think 50 to 55 is going to be a solid retracement level. And that'd be, you're talking if they settle up in near the 70s, that's down 200 on Monday. I'm not sure that's going to happen. They might just build on it and keep going. I mean, I show you these areas just so you have a general idea of how to anticipate where trade can go if it breaks down. And you'd be surprised at how often that these areas will come into play when you don't expect it, and they do roll over. And that's why I spend the time doing this. It helps me out. It's like my little library of levels and areas because I know the market has a tendency to repeat patterns. And, and it's good to have them. You can just see where all these, look at 39, you can just see where all these numbers play out. There's that 15 low again. It bounced off an earlier trend line that we eventually broke. And you could just see we're just in a really massive trading range. And here's the low of it all, 4102. So, until we take out this low and it's an even number, there's nothing to really worry about with the market. There just looks like they're gonna keep pushing. It's a really an amazing bull trend, and we're gonna look for the opportunities to make money to the upside, and we're gonna look for the extreme weakness on the upside to take advantage of the counter trend short. That is the strategy in a nutshell, at least mine. So, hope you enjoyed what you guys hear. Once again, you need to reach out. You can contact me at mlbino at AOL.com and or follow me on YouTube and provide a comment in the suggestion box. I'd be glad to respond to any of your questions. For those of you who are probably curious as to why and or will I go live, it all depends. Right now it's about teaching price and see where people are at, whether you're a regular trader trying to build on your trading skills or you're a new trader and you want to learn it. I really think this is a good way of understanding how to trade futures. I'm sure this thing falls in line pretty well with stock as well if you implement it with individual stocks. That's another uh, conversation for later. But for the most part, I trade the futures. I like the way the S&P trades with the Dow and with the Nasdaq. They all work well together, and it's good to get confirmation on your X entrance into trades because when they all work together, it's pretty confirming to where you're going. So this is the week's review, and have a great weekend. And we'll take a look at this on Monday. Like I said, I don't know where the levels are going to be Monday until we close, and there's a better idea of the high-low settlement. But the bull trend is alive and well, and they proved it all week. They held 4,100. That's all. They gave it a retracement. It provided some opportunities to the short side, and that's why I talk about reversal counter trend shorts and how to make money against a really, really strong trend, especially if they're not giving you good entries to the upside. And you made the low on Tuesday, didn't do much with it, and you could just see the reaction. It's they're buying value down here, and they jammed it Wednesday. Biden spoke. They rolled over, stopped at support, meandered overnight, and did the same thing on Friday. Patterns just keep repeating. But you can see just when they want to jump on it, and you can just see the strength of the market, and you have to respect it. In fact, I haven't even attempted a short. I'm glad. I probably would have considered this one right here at R1, but I could just tell this day it was acting weird, and this market it just seemed it was on a mission to get back to where I think it wanted to go right here and probably tried it again. Yeah, so 70 was the issue. In fact, the higher we get above 70, the greater I like it as a possible support area on Monday. But I don't know where it's going to settle, so I don't want to make that call too soon. I do like 55. The 55 to 50 area is a hard retracement area. I just don't know where this is going to end, and I don't know if they're going to take money off the table on Friday afternoon late. I highly doubt it. They ran them up this hard. I don't expect them to give much back. I think they're setting us up for another run next week. I've been layering about 4,300 now for a long time in the S&P. That was, I believe, a call by Goldman or somewhere about 2 or 3 weeks ago. At the time, I think we were in the mid 4,000s, and I just chuckled. But it's almost amazing how often they say something and the market immediately reacts. I mean, like immediately. So will we go there? I don't know. At the end of the day, we're really not too far. So if that was a projection, and we're at 41.75, um, let's take a look at where this could go. Um, so we're almost at we are well. I think this is the future. So I think we're over 34,000. That would be, let's see, 43 be another about another 150, 200 points maybe take us to 4,300. Actually, I take it back. That would be way bigger than that. Uh, my mind's a little messed right now. I'm trying to project uh, where 4,300 would take the Dow because it could be an area that you want to pay attention to. But at the end of the day, and I thought that this week was showing signs of fatigue. I mean, these sellouts sometimes are an indication that something ain't right and people are getting nervous. And, we're going to know when they really want to correct because when they roll, they're going to just keep going. And you can just see they're just not ready to give it up yet. So I'll go over this on Sunday night and take a look at this and see what I can come up with for projections. Otherwise, this is this week in review. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you like what you hear. Have a great weekend. I'll see you guys on Monday.